And we are live. Hello, welcome to the live stream. We are going to chat about mastering the metabolic switch. And I'm freezing right now, which is a sign that I hope you guys can hear me because I got a new microphone thingy here for my phone. A sign that we are in a metabolic switch because I'm cold. I've been doing some nerding away. I forgot how much of a nerd I am. Like, I'm such a nerd when it comes to science. And, like, I've always wanted to be a scientist, and maybe like YouTube will be like my little like outlet to like learn scientific information and regurgitate it. And scientific information in regards to weight loss, losing weight, and the whole lot. I just really want to talk about that because I think it's so important. Too many people are struggling with it. I've struggled with it. I still struggle with it to this very day. But yes, I want to help people lose weight because society has failed us on multiple levels when it comes to weight loss. And on my journey of losing weight, I've learned a lot. I've learned that weight loss isn't just a calorie game. I hate when people are just like, it's just about calories in and calories out. It's more than that. Yes, calorie deficit counts, but because so many people are metabolically damaged due to the damage of their mitochondria, cells, and everything going on from the toxins in the environment, the inflammation, and a whole lot, being in a calorie deficit is not enough because it's hard to maintain a calorie deficit with having satiety signals all messed up or people struggling with stress in their lives when your cortisol levels are and everything. Like the people in the alternative community of like fasting and whatnot, when they say, oh, calories don't matter, they do, but I think it's both. It's all about the metabolic switch and being in a calorie deficit for a lot of people, and that is true on my journey. So yes. Hey Deanne, welcome to the live stream. Welcome. Nice to see you. Nice to see you here. Um, as I was typing up and announcing that I'm on the live stream, my cheeks started to hurt and I started to get a headache. So we're gonna hang in there. For those of you who don't know, I am recovering from a wisdom tooth surgery and my jaw is still kind of big, but it's okay. Surgery went well. My anesthesiologist was amazing. Without him, I probably would not have been in a good state. He pumped me with tons of medicine. I don't know, did I do a live stream? No, I know I didn't, but I told him that last time I went under general anesthesia, I was very ill and I had a side effect of just vomiting a lot. And he's like, I'll take care of you. He's like, I'm going to give you something for I said this on Instagram. I'm going to give you something for the nausea so you don't get nauseated. And he looks at my heart rate and he's like, I see that you're very nervous. He's like, I'll give you something to relax you. So he did it all through IV. I pretty much blacked out. The dentist did his job, an amazing dentist. I'm so happy I'm getting like high class care here in Alberta thanks to the health plan I am on. And yeah, he did a good job. Got rid of the wisdom tooth that I was terrified to get rid of because I was they were getting chronically infected and my dentist was like, you're gonna mess up your heart. Like you need to get these teeth out. So I did. It's always the bottom teeth, always. But that has happened. But yes. Oh, welcome to the live stream, Jacqueline. Nice to have you here. Nice to see you. Nice to be here with everyone. So I'm just going to talk about my schedule very quickly. I think I'm going to be uploading 5 times a week. I'm going to take 2 days off. As of right now, I won't make an official announcement, but I'll just make an unofficial announcement. We'll see how things hold up. But right now, my days off will be Thursday, Friday. If I do post a video on those days, it will be a bonus video. So I'll be uploading from Saturday to Wednesday. There will be 2 live streams, one on the weekend, which is today. So I want to make Sunday a live stream day. And the other one will be on Wednesday. Sunday and Wednesday will be my live stream days, and we'll be dropping videos on Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday. So I think that is a good frequent schedule. It's more sustainable than doing daily. But yes, right now I'm in the mood of teaching everyone, uploading videos about weight loss and all that. And we'll get back to vlogs eventually. I am currently just dealing with tons of health issues, but I'm at the point where things are going to turn around. They will turn around because I believe that a lot of them is all mental. So I'm doing some powerful, powerful deep healing. You'll have setbacks, whether it be on your journey to recovering mentally with mental health issues or physically, or weight loss, just you got to know that you just have to tell yourself that you're going to get through the setback and you're going to keep moving forward no matter what. Even if you're stuck and you feel like you're not making any forward progress, just tell yourself to keep going. You just have to. Tell yourself to keep going, and your mind will find a way to figure it all out. Guaranteed. As long as you have that can-do attitude, you'll be making it. And I feel like I'm turning a new leaf now. This is the first day that I haven't had chronic fatigue, so we'll see how things go, and we're just gonna move forward. But yes, DJ Zero says, I appreciate you going live and giving us videos and tips. Alternate day fasting and OMAD. I've been watching you since I was, wow, 319 pounds and I'm 195. Thank you. That is amazing. That is amazing. Wow. Thank you for sharing that, because this live stream is going to be talking about the metabolic switch and why it helps so many people who have struggled with obesity. Like, congratulations. I'm so proud of you. And alternate day fasting is such a powerful tool with OMAD, because those are ways that you can make that metabolic switch. So I want to get into that, but congratulations on the weight loss. So I want to talk about on my journey. Why was I not successful with weight loss until I did keto? Why did it take keto for me to really see weight loss results? And this is not with just me, with anybody. And obviously keto is one of the ways to make the metabolic switch. So why was that happening? Why did these diets become popular? Why was going low carb popular for a lot of people? And I hated it for years. There were a lot of people who was like, well, you don't, like, nutritionists, you don't need to cut your carbs to lose weight. Sadly, we've been knowing that a lot of nutritionists have been paid by the food industry to advocate these, to advocate certain things, to advocate certain foods. But more and more research is coming out, and we're realizing the importance of diets that are low carb diets. We're realizing the importance of making that metabolic switch. There is a reason why people have been successful with things like the PMSMF diet, which is a modified fast diet, why people have been successful with carnivore, why people have been successful with things like OMAD and fasting. Fasting is now becoming more mainstream, and I'm so happy about it, because people look at me like I'm insane when I'm like, oh, I do a 3-day water fast, or I'm not eating today because I'm fasting. And people are like, you haven't eaten today? Or I have doctors and nurses, if I'm going to go have some kind of procedure, they're like, you need to eat. You need to eat. You didn't eat today? Well, that's a long time. Or when I got my wisdom tooth off, someone's like, oh, you haven't eaten, it's a long time. It's 12:30 p.m. You haven't eaten. I'm like, I'm used to fasting. And fasting is the default way of our body. It's in our DNA. It is an evolutionary adaptation to the feast famine cycles that humans still run on, meaning that, like, when we were back in the caveman days, food was scarce. So when we would hunt and we would have a kill, we'd have tons of food for a long time. And then, we would go through a phase of no food. So that's when our body would adapt to things like fasting. Like, we're still running on that old DNA, even though things have been quick. Things have quickly transformed in the last 150 years with the Industrial Revolution, agriculture, which happened a little bit before that. But, like, it takes time for evolution to play on the human DNA. It takes millennia, and millennia means hundreds and hundreds of years. It takes time for this change to happen. Sorry, I'm trying to center myself here. But we have advanced so quickly, foods everywhere, sugars everywhere, that our cells and our DNA has not adapted to that. That's why we're seeing modern day diseases. That's why obesity has gone through the roof. That's why type 2 diabetes has gone through the roof. That's why people are having chronic inflammation. Things like non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, something I struggle with. Like, we're seeing a lot of this, and it's because that we are not living in the same way that we used to live, that our DNA provides us to live. People are sitting more, we're not exercising more, and there's a reason why this is all happening. So yes, I'm just going to look at the chat very quickly before I go into a rant. Hey Cheyenne, welcome to the live stream. Nice to see you here. I'm so great to have you. Thank you for being a long time supporter. Girl, I appreciate you. You rock. You rock. Congratulations. I'm really proud of you. Mad Solar. Hey Daniela, keep grinding. Always rooting for you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I will never, ever, ever give up. I don't give up. I will, I'll have setbacks, I'll fall, but every time I fall, I get stronger. It's like I'm like Fox, that phoenix from what do you call it? Harry Potter. Harry Potter. I'm done watching Harry Potter, but like the phoenix is one of my favorite mythical characters or mythical entities. You get reborn and you reborn stronger. So yeah, that's my jam. It's always about rising after falling. Hey Ron, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Another person that made the metabolic switch to take charge of his health. Like, shout out to you. We need more people doing it. I don't care how you make the metabolic switch. I don't care if it's keto. I don't care if it's carnivore. I don't care if it's fasting. I don't care if it's whatever. The metabolic switch is the answer because we'll go into why it's the answer. Yes, it has been a while. Thank you for being here. We're having left hip replacement on Tuesday. I will pray for you. I will pray for you. I hope it goes well. Keep me updated. I will message you I guess I can get you on Facebook, but I'm sending you prayers and quick recovery and healing as soon as possible. Surgery gives me a lot of anxiety. I just had my wisdom tooth. That's nothing compared to what you're going through. I don't like surgeries, but they're necessary, of course. And I'm wishing you speedy healing for sure. For sure. Like a phoenix, we always rise from the ashes, brand new, ready to go again. Exactly. I'm kind of slurring my speech here, but don't mind me. So yes, let's talk about the metabolic switch. I got some notes here because I was nerding away. So the metabolic switch is basically when your body goes from using glucose as an energy store, external glucose, to using fatty acids as an energy store. And this switch happens, I kind of did some notes here because I was watching a video. It's actually triggered by an enzyme. I'm not going to go too scientific, but I'm just going to share with you what actually metabolically happens. It's triggered by an enzyme known as adenosine monophosphate kinase. And basically, this enzyme turns off our cells from growing. So growing meaning that, if you're eating a bunch of sugar and your cells are restoring those sugar and it's growing in terms of fat, putting on fat or glucose stores or glycogen stores, growing that way. And it turns our cell into a situation where it is going to be using stored resources as energy. So stored sugar, stored fat cells as energy. That is when the metabolic switch happens. And there's multiple ways to get into this metabolic switch, but essentially the metabolic switch is when we are using fatty acid for energy. And when we use fatty acid for energy, that is basically the breakdown of fat. And when we break down fat, that's when the ketone system comes in and our body uses ketones for energy. Now, when our body is in this state of making that metabolic switch, it is in a state of healing. So you're getting the benefits of anti-inflammation. You're getting the effects of reducing free radicals, which are molecules in our cells that make us prone to diseases like cancer. So you're doing that. What else are you doing? You are getting better glucose regulation. You're making your blood sugar levels are regulated better because a lot of diseases are a source of high blood glucose levels, which is also a manifestation of inflammation. Inflammation is chronic in a high blood glucose environment. You're getting less production of free radicals, which is what I mentioned. You're reducing inflammation and you're getting DNA repair, which is key. Now, what else do I have here? Because I made a bunch of notes. Restricting your calories and time-restricted eating definitely helps with weight loss. It does. I think the combination of two helps with weight loss or making the metabolic switch through diet. So there's multiple ways where you can make the metabolic switch. The fastest way to make the metabolic switch is through fasting. It's through doing an intermittent fast it depends. If you're first starting off fasting, it might take you a little longer to get into it. But if you're fast adapted, it should happen anywhere between 12 to 17 hours. But for the majority of people to make that metabolic switch, fasting for 17 hours will get you into a state of autophagy, and it will get you into a state where your glycogen stores are all used up, and then your body is forced to go deeper, and that's when that AMPK molecule gets triggered, and it's like, okay, we need to start searching other ways to make energy. Now, fasting is the fastest way to do this. So there are different types of fast that you can do. There's intermittent fasting, which is fasting between 10 hours a day to about 16 hours a day. There's autophagy fasting. This is all from Dr. Mindy Pausch. This is how she separates the fast. So I'm just going to tell you how to separate them. There's autophagy fasting, fasting for 17 hours a day. There's the gut reset fast, which happens at 24 hours. That's when you get some gut healing. Then there's the really awesome fast, which I love, is the fat burning fast, which is the 36-hour fast, which is the fast that is associated with alternate day fasting, which can happen between 36 hours to 48 hours, depending on when you break your alternate day fast. That is when you're getting max fat burning. So your body is digging, it's going into those cells. It's removing all the glucose in the bloodstream. It is repairing all of the damage that's in there and using that damaged cell and recycling it for energy. And then there's the dopamine reset fast, which is the 48-hour fast. This is a good fast. It's also known as the mental health fast. She's also referred to it as that, but I think now Dr. Mindy Pausch is calling it the dopamine reset fast. So this is the fast that resets all your dopamine stores. Basically, we're in an environment where things are oversaturated, saturated with social media, likes and all this. So when our dopamine stores are oversaturated, they don't work properly. So we don't have a lot of pleasure. So the dopamine reset fast helps to reset that, and that's going to help improve mental health. And then there is the ultimate fast, which I love, is the 72-hour fast. That is the immune reset fast. 72 hours is when your immune system resets, your white blood cells get healed, you're getting like top autophagy. And if you go longer, I believe 72 hours to about 5 days, this is a fast I really want to do. It can help really heal muscular skeletal injuries. I believe Dr. Mindy Pausch talked about how she did a 5-day fast and she had this in a nagging, I believe it was an Achilles heel injury. And no matter what she did, it didn't heal. She did a 5-day fast and it ended up healing. I'm hoping to do a 5-day fast to help heal some deep muscular injuries I have, deep injuries I've had for years after giving birth to my son. Speaking of this, I'm going to touch on this quickly for any woman out there or any man out there who's had a woman who has given birth. Something happens to us women when giving birth. I don't know what happens, but it's a lot of women, some women put on weight and then it makes it really harder to get off that baby weight. Every woman is talking about that snapback and all of that. Well, someone recently, Michaela Peterson, she just gave birth and she snapped back pretty quickly because she is on a very strict carnivore diet. And I have a feeling the reason why she snapped back quickly is because after giving birth, something happens to us. I'm not sure what, but I know for me, my liver went crazy. I got non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And yes, it was easy for me to put on weight. So she's doing the carnivore diet or the lion diet, which is a form of the carnivore diet. And in her doing that, clearly there was healing going on there. There was healing. She was putting herself in a deep metabolic state where her blood sugar was low. She did the carnivore diet throughout her whole pregnancy. So there's something to that. And I don't know what happens, but the hormones get out of whack. And not to mention with everything, with all the toxins in our environment, the toxins in our clothes. I just got a new hat, the toxins in this hat. It's interfering with our body's mitochondria. And the mitochondria is basically the powerhouse of the cell. And a lot of people have mitochondria that's ill. So basically the membrane is very rigid. And my son's yelling in the background. And I told these people I'm doing a live stream. So give me a second. Hi, God. All right, sorry about that. I was trying not to yell because my mic was hot and this kid is like screaming and I'm not sure why. But okay, I'm watching the live stream right here. So where was I? I totally forgot what I was talking about. Oh, mitochondria. What was I saying about mitochondria? Okay, so I saw this video quickly by Dr. Mindy Pels, but I think something happened to I feel like I'm very mitochondria. My mitochondria is ill because I've been struggling with chronic inflammation ever since whatever happened to me postpartum. So I was talking about, yeah, the mitochondria is associated with disease and aging. We're learning a lot about the mitochondria associated with cancer, associated with aging, chronic diseases. So when the mitochondria is healthy, it increases your energy. Something I've been struggling with lately, as you guys know who have been following me for a while, is chronic fatigue. Like, clearly the stress of the car accident and all the billion injuries and the head injury I have to deal with put a lot of stress on my system. So the mitochondria likes ketones. It likes ketones. So you want to give your mitochondria ketones, but you also want to learn how to do metabolic flexibility, which is what I'm going to touch on in a second. And that's why I have returned to the keto diet. I have returned to it. Um, so I'll be doing keto for a bit to figure out what the hell's going on with my system. But speaking of which, let me talk about the metabolic switch and how powerful it is. Because I was doing a diet, as you guys know, I took a break off of OMAD, and then in December I was getting coaching from this free coaching I had. They had me consuming carbs and everything, but weight loss was hard. Why was it hard? Because I have very resistant weight loss. Even though I've lost all the weight, it is still very resistant. So clearly I am still ill. And I think it has a lot to do with my mitochondria, with the inflammation that's going on and everything. For me, I'm always going to have to make that metabolic switch to lose weight no matter what. It just seems to be what I know. It's really hard for me to lose weight, which is why I came to the conclusion we got to go back to keto, which is one of the ways of making the metabolic switch with intermittent fasting. Currently, I'm doing an 18-hour fast today because it's like minus 45 outside. It's really cold outside, and I'm freezing right now. And when you fast, you tend to get cold. So I'm like, you know what? We'll just go 18 hours today. So totally forgot what I was saying, but yeah, let's just talk about the mitochondria in terms of fasting, and also the mitochondria. Oh yeah, with the outer membrane of it. I'm going way too scientific, but basically when the membrane is rigid, it causes inflammation and all of this. And to help your mitochondrial cells, which is also helps with energy, which is what I'm getting to with the chronic fatigue, you want to have fats, you want to do ketones, you want to give it ketones. You want to keep your sugars low, which seems to be a very common theme that I'm learning. It's the low blood sugar. When you make that metabolic switch, you are going into low blood sugar. Drugs like Ozempic, the weight loss drugs, guess what they do? They put you in a low blood sugar state. So there is a key to all of this. It's the low blood sugar diet, putting yourself in a low blood sugar state. And that low blood sugar diet is related to the metabolic switch. So the fastest way to make that metabolic switch is through fasting. You can also make the metabolic switch through keto. Keto diet, 80-20 keto, you can do it that way. You can make the metabolic switch through a low carb diet, eating 50 grams of carbs or less. You can make the metabolic switch with an eating schedule like alternate day fasting and OMAD. And I feel the reason why people are successful with that is because a lot of people are metabolically ill. A lot of people are damaged. And that's why you got to add in the calorie deficit with making that metabolic switch. That's why you see people becoming more successful with weight loss when they are including fasting or they are including things like going in a low carb diet. The PSMF diet is a fast mimicking diet. And that diet stands for, what does it stand for? I think it stands for PSMF, protein sparing modified fasting, which is basically you have your carbs less than 20 grams. I want to try this diet because it's high in protein, which is what I love. And you have your carbs less than 20 grams and 20 grams or less, and your protein is high. And your calories are low. I think your calories have to be between 800 and 1,000 calories. And it's a short-term kind of thing, which is another thing I want to touch on, is the importance of metabolic flexibility. Being metabolically flexible helps your mitochondria out. I love OMAD, yes, but I made the mistake of doing OMAD for too long. I'm a big advocate of being able to go in and out of that metabolic switch. Because let's be real here. Not everyone can stick to OMAD forever, nor shouldn't you, because it's going to mess up your hormones, which is something that kind of happened to me because my cycle went out of whack. I ended up getting a cyst I got a cyst in May, and Dr. Mindy Pels talks about this. She talked about how she noticed when women would fast for too long or do OMAD for too long, they would start to put themselves in a state of perimenopause. And I don't want to do that. I'm too young for that. So I've noticed my cycle has been crazy. So this is why Dr. Mindy Pels talks about metabolic flexibility. It's all about being able to go in and out of things. You can't do OMAD indefinitely. Some people say they can. I know there's one person who says they can. They're a man. Men are less hormonally complex than women. They really are. They just have to deal with testosterone. We have to deal with testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone. So it makes things a little tricky for us. So I'm actually following Fast Like a Girl to a T. And I remember Greg just did a video like that. He's like, fast like a girl, it doesn't make sense. He didn't really do the research because he's referring to the hormones that women have to deal with. Women have to deal with more hormonal issues. So me doing OMAD too long, I think I may have messed up my cycle. Something weird went happening there. But again, I believe in that metabolic switch in terms of losing weight. So that is where I'm like, okay, let's do keto, but let's go in and out of OMAD and do like intermittent fasting. So when my cycle comes around or that week before your cycle, that's when you want to make sure you are nurturing progesterone, and progesterone likes carbs, healthy carbs, things like sweet potato, yam, rice, and things like that. I learned my lesson the hard way because that week before my cycle was always the worst. But going back to what was going on with my hormones are all messed up because I was fasting with OMAD for too long. And that is where you have to have the discernment. And this is for men too, because ideally you want to be able to lose weight with OMAD, but lose weight with eating calories, but lose weight with eating carbs or not eating carbs. You want to have that flexibility. Because when you don't have that flexibility, you put yourself at risk for rebounding. It happens to people so many times. Like they lose weight with ADF or they lose weight with keto. And then they get off keto and then they don't know how to properly diet because they eat a bunch of carbs and then they blame the carbs for gaining weight. Why I love Dr. Mindy Pels? Because she's like, you need carbs. Carbs are important. But yes, making that metabolic switch and going in a low carb diet makes it easier to lose weight. It does for a lot of people. But you have to learn how to balance it out. She gives a guideline in her book supported by science and everything. So going back to my entire like fibroid situation, I have fibroids now and I have cysts, and my cycle is now coming every 21 days. That is way too early and there's stuff going on. So right now I'm following the guidelines of Fast Like a Girl. Your cycle starts at day 1. Day 1 is the first day of menses. So from day 1 to about day 10, that's when it's safe to do an extended fast. Go do an extended fast. Go do some ADF. Now, during day 10 to 15, that's when you're ovulating. During that day, you don't want to be fasting because you got too much going on with the hormones. So that time, you want to just, you can still work out hard and exercise, but you don't want to be doing too much fasting. So through there, maybe do like intermittent fasting. Don't fast. I believe she said no more than 17 hours. Don't quote me. I forget. But you don't want to be doing that too long. And then after you ovulate from day 15 to day 20, which is a week before your cycle, everyone's cycle is different. My cycle's to a T. It's every 28 days, but not recently. That's when you want to, again, throw in some longer fasts. I was going to do a 36-hour fast today, but it's too cold. So I'm just going to do an 18-hour fast, do some keto, and then tomorrow I'll jump into like an OMAD. It's too cold, so it's way too cold. We almost lost the power here. The whole province was using so much energy that we got an emergency alert on our phone. And the power generation people were like, okay, everyone needs to turn off their lights and all of that. And Albertans came together and did that, and we didn't lose our power. Because I ain't losing power when it's minus 55 Celsius, which is minus 55 Fahrenheit. It is cold. It is so cold my dog can't handle it. Literally, the Arctic shifted over between Edmonton and Calgary. It's been so cold. You can even see it on the map. It's been freezing cold. And I know out west or east, you guys are getting like a blizzard or something. They have to move the Buffalo Bills game to Monday. But yeah, the weather has been crazy. It's been super cold. And I don't want to lose my power in this cold because I don't want to die. My car is dead right now. It won't start at all. But yeah, anyway, I just want to make the efforts. I just want to talk about the importance of having discernment. And I think it's important for people to be able to do different types of fasting. Again, do ADF if it works, but you have to know that there is a time where you might have to come off of it. And I feel like the key to coming off of any diet or switching from keto to eating a regular diet is the calorie count. And that's where I'm an anomaly or a unicorn in this space. I believe in calorie counting because calories are basically like, I guess, I don't know, however, like what is another way to portion control? I don't know. I think calories is the easiest way. But when you count your calories, you're able to go from diet to diet without losing control. I think it's important to do that. And you can't think of it as a prison sentence. It's a self-control system because people, when they gain weight, people who struggle with being obese, they don't know portion control. So calories is a way to portion control. But for anyone who's losing weight and they're counting their calories and they're still not losing weight, that's where you got to make that metabolic switch. You got to put yourself in a low blood sugar state. And you can do this through fasting. You can do this through keto. You can do this through the PSMF quick diet. You can do this through the carnivore diet. Again, I know I made myself public enemy number one, the carnivore diet. The carnivore diet is great, just not for someone. Well, I didn't do it right. I probably wasn't eating enough fats, but it's not a diet I want to do with me bodybuilding. I think keto is an easier diet to do while bodybuilding and cutting weight. There have been IFBB pros that use keto to lose weight. I know one of my favorite IFBB pros, Ashley Caldwell, she used to do keto a lot. I don't know if she does it now, but I remember she had the issue. It was really hard for her to lose weight. And I know she went to a low carb diet. I'm not sure what she's doing now. Things are probably changed differently for her. Julia Renee, who is an IFBB pro for wellness division, she's done keto. She would, flip in and out of that. I still believe like these diets do help with weight loss. They make it easier. They make it easier because they crush the hunger. They make it easier because it actually targets belly fat, which is what making that metabolic switch does. When you make that metabolic switch, you're targeting that belly fat because the belly fat is the fat that causes a lot of issues. It's a sign of poor health. And yes. So anyway, I've been ranting a lot. Hang on, I'm gonna grab some water. My mouth hurts. Ow. Wisdom teeth. Anyway, I'm gonna look at the chat. I really hope I don't start swelling. I kind of am already. But yes. Anyway, I went on a whole rant. I don't know what the hell I was talking about. I think it made sense. Yes, I read that. I had one right. Oh, Ron says I had the right one. Oh, yes, you did last year. And at least I know what to expect. That's the right attitude to have. Mindset's everything. At least you know what to expect and you got this. Cheyenne says, I'm so glad to catch the live. It's a snow day here where I live and we are snowed in. Yes, I have not left my house because of the cold. I can't leave my house. My car is frozen. It's not like the battery's dead. It just is frozen. I can't press the button to turn it on or press the brake to turn it. It's just frozen. It just decided to die. It would happen if temperatures are minus 55. So I feel you with being snowed in. I haven't gone to the gym in days too, which sucks because I took time off the gym for my surgery and I was supposed to be back yesterday. And I'm like, oh, but good news is my knee is holding up and my thoracic spine is holding up because these two parts need the gym for movement. I'm hoping to get back to the gym tomorrow once we called the AMA, or what is that called? CAA or AAA in America, you guys call it, to fix our car. But we're doing that tomorrow when temperatures calm down. But yes, I've been stuck at home. It sucks. My dog has turned into a wild wolf. She's been inside for too long. Matt Stiller says, if I'm doing a dry fast and I'm not working, I play video games all day to keep me distracted. That's smart. That is smart. I like that. And dry fasting is awesome. It's like top autophagy right there. A lot of people don't know, like 1 day of dry fasting is equivalent to 3 days of water fasting. So there's no need to do more than, I would say, 48 hours of dry fasting. There's no need. You get so much effect with it. Dry fasting's hard, but I mean, it's hard on the body in terms of energy levels, but it's good once you're like deep into it. That's the longest I've fasted for was 5 days. That's awesome. It was amazing feeling, but it was a struggle. I can't lie, but the benefits were worth it. Yeah, I really want to get to a 5-day fast. I really do. And I'm so glad you've done it. I don't know how people have done 10-day fasts. My God, you get the healing and healing. I've known people have done 20-day fasts. a little too much, but 5 days, I think no one needs to go more than that. But yeah, the benefits is pretty powerful because you're going into deep autophagy. Hey, Tashira, welcome to the live stream. Nice to see you here. Welcome. What is too long to be fasting? Meaning going, you got to play it by ear. You got to play it by ear. I would say a good measure of knowing when to stop fasting is based on the amount of body fat you have on your body. I think that's a good measure. If you are still obese and you got a lot of fat to lose, keep going. But mind you, guys, I'm not a medical professional or anything. This is based on my experience. Because when I got to that overweight category, and with me, because I'm so big bone, muscular, and everything, overweight for me was probably normal. And that's when things started to get difficult. That's when I was like, okay, I probably should have stopped OMAD. I think you can fast as long as you have enough body fat on you to get you through a fast. And when I say fast, me doing OMAD for like a year straight. Also, another rule of thumb I would say is if you start getting really weird symptoms, like I did, I was getting like food poisoning and sick a lot. If you're getting your hair falling out, any weird symptoms, your cycle's going crazy if you're a woman, yeah, I think that would be a good time to fast. But honestly, when it comes to fasting, learn from the experts. I am reading tons of like Dr. Mindy Powell's, watch her channel. She teaches us a lot. She talks about it for men too. And she talks about how you can use fasting to help build muscle as well, which happens post-fast. Basically, when you fast, she talks about the mTOR pathway. I didn't really like look on about it, but I remember learning about it in the past that when you get off a fast and then you like protein load every like 2 to 3 hours or something like that, it can really help build muscle. Because she was talking about it on a live stream. She's like, not a live stream, in one of her videos, she was saying that when we go to the gym, we basically break down our muscle, right? That's how muscle needs to be broken down in order to be built back stronger. Fasting will break down some muscle. It's the same thing as like working out. However, it will speed up that muscle synthesis if you protein load after your fast, like every couple of hours or something. There's a protocol to do it, taking advantage of the mTOR pathway. But yeah, going back to your question, when is fasting for too long? I think body fat is a good indication, and any weird symptoms, hair falling out, lack of energy, anything like that. Mind you, just a disclaimer here, my chronic fatigue has been here since I hit my head. It was there when I was 229 pounds, so that has something to do with my concussion. Yes, I would say that's like a good indicator, but you have to figure that out on your own. You got to be connected with your body to figure out when it's too long. But if you're getting to that overweight category, start keeping an eye out for things. Do you recommend carb cycling or food cycling? Food cycling is basically fasting, right? There's another fasting method by Dr. Mosley, I believe his name is, the 5-2 fasting method, where you eat maintenance calories for 5 days out of the week, and for 2 days out of the week, you eat in a restricted manner. It used to be the 500 fast diet, but now he's bumped that up to 800 to 1,000 calories for 2 days. That is what I would consider food cycling. Isn't intermittent fasting a form of food cycling? Carb cycling is something I want to learn about, and that's something I'm going to learn about from my bodybuilding coach and Marcella when I work with her. I'm still working with her now, but I haven't gotten the VIP membership. I'm hoping my chronic fatigue settles, but I will be paying her to start training me end of the month. Please let my I just want to work out. That's all I want to do. Just let me work out. But yes, I don't know much about carb cycling, but it's definitely something I want to learn about because I think it's very useful, especially for someone who's very active and they're trying to lose weight and maintain that muscle. But that's not something I'm very aware of yet. But once I learn, I will share it with you, carb cycling. Maybe switch from 14, 16, 18 hours as needed. Yeah, if you're talking about different types of fasting, yeah, you got to find a schedule that works for you, really. And I want to touch on something with OMAD. You can get the effects of OMAD by doing it. You don't have to do it every day. I say if you do OMAD 4 to 5 days a week, you'll still get the effect. Like real OMAD, like 23-1 OMAD. You'll still get the effects, even with 24 more. Like you have to find a schedule that works for you. And you don't have like anyone who's starting to lose weight, of course, it's easier for someone in the beginning of their weight loss journey to stick to one thing. So if OMAD's your thing, stick to it, especially if you're morbidly obese and you have a lot of weight to lose. But maybe after 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 months, it's okay to take a break and practice maintaining weight. I think it's important to learn how to maintain your weight. And that's where you can throw in different fasting schedules. That's where you can, maybe throw in an 18-hour fast or eat normally. See how it works for you. Everyone is so individual and it's so specific to a person that you kind of just have to play with it. But to start off your weight loss journey, if you're beginning it, it's easier to stick to one thing. Whether it be keto, stick to that, just stick to it and see. But don't give yourself 90 days. I think 90 days is a good number. It's a good way to get into a habit, and it's a good way to get results. 90 days of OMAD won't hurt most people who are starting off obese. 90 days of keto won't hurt most people who are, yeah, you can do keto when you're not obese. Keto's a different beast. But yeah, just give it 90 days. See, make a decision. If you feel like you want to take a break, take a break. But it's really important to take diet breaks. And I know with OMAD, so many people get so excited. Like I was watching Brentley G. He started OMAD, and surprisingly, Greg Doucette said it was fine. Maybe he's been watching videos and learning that, yeah, OMAD can be a great tool to stay in a calorie deficit. I do have a video coming about that. I think OMAD is, like from what I found with all the diets I've done on my weight loss journey, it is the easiest way to stay in a calorie deficit. OMAD or like high-end intermittent fasting, so like 18 hours or more. The easiest way to stay into a calorie deficit. The time-restricted eating just helps. It just helps so much. And it's a great tool. And not only that, the benefits you get from the fasting with OMAD, the metabolic switching that's happening, because 17 hours of fasting, that's when the metabolic switch can happen as low as 12 hours. Like there's really no way of measuring it. But for most people, getting up to like 16, 17 hours, you will be getting that fat burning happen. And when you are in a state of burning ketones for energy, that is when you are burning fat for fuel. And that is what you want to do. You want to tell your body to do that. And I feel like with a lot of people who struggle with resistant weight loss, so weight that is hard to lose, I feel like their body struggles with making that switch. It really does. Like something just isn't right. And when you make that metabolic switch, your body is in a state of healing. Healing happens. Lots of healing happens. You get anti-inflammation. You get autophagy. You get mitochondria repair, which happens longer over time. Like all of that just helps correct. And I feel like a lot of people give up on weight loss because they do the calorie thing. And it's very difficult to stay in a calorie deficit for a long, sustainable amount of time. Let's be honest here. It is very difficult. And I think OMAD just makes it easy. It makes it easy to do that because of the hunger crushing, because of the adaptation that happens with your body when you do OMAD, 1 meal a day. And this goes for ADF as well. Alternate day fasting is the same thing. I would just call ADF OMAD on steroids. It's a much more intense version of it. Oh, no, you can't say that, because alternate day fasting, you do eat throughout the day. But I don't know, a big chunk of it, like you're fasting for 36 hours and then you're eating at a maintenance calorie. You can't really call it OMAD, but you know what I'm saying. You're fasting a lot and you get into a routine. These are two fasting methods that it's easy to get into routine with ADF and OMAD. Very easy to do routine. The reason why I personally don't do ADF, because I can't work out fasted. It's hard for me to work out fasted with the way I work out. That's why I like OMAD, because I can be able to work out fasted. But like ADF and OMAD, it's just easier to stay in a calorie deficit with this. It's harder to stay in a calorie deficit, I find personally, when you eat throughout the day. You can do it when you eat throughout the day if you are eating high voluminous, low calorie dense foods like, vegetables and low calorie dense foods. What else is a low calorie dense foods beside vegetables? Anything high in fiber, really. If you're basically vegetables. But like it's really hard to because like for someone who struggles with overeating, binge eating, emotional eating, it's really hard to turn that off. And like when I eat throughout the day, it's a struggle. And that's something I want to master, because obviously I want to get into bodybuilding and build muscle. So I have to master that, because the best way to maximize muscle protein synthesis is to eat throughout the day. Or is it? I don't know. We'll see. But no, it is. It is based on, that's how everyone has been doing it from from the beginning of time when it comes to bodybuilding. But like when it comes to OMAD, it just makes it easier to stay in a calorie deficit for someone like me. And even if I can't do OMAD when I'm building muscle, at least doing a 16-8 can help. But it's just hard for me to do it. I don't know why. It's just hard for me to eat throughout the day. Another alternative is 2MAD. 2MAD is another good alternative, and I want to start throwing in more 2MAD days. I like 2MAD because the way to do 2MAD properly, it is a form of intermittent fasting, is first thing in the morning, wake up, eat your meal. Eat your meal. Eat your 2MAD meal. Get it in. And then 12 hours later, have your next meal. And you can still lose weight that way. Because I think that is enough time. Over time, you can make the metabolic switch within 12 hours. Like, again, the metabolic switch can happen anywhere between 12 hours to 17 hours. It depends. But someone like me or someone like you who's been fasting or doing ADF, you're probably very fast adapted. It's probably easier for you to make that metabolic switch anyway. But yes, I hope I answered that. Yeah, you're right. Portion plates help if people don't want to count calories. I gotta look into that. Do they exist? Because that would be easy. But portion plates. The portion plates are going to have to be macro specific though, because you can't have the same portion plates for fat as you would carbs, or fat as you would protein, because fat has 9 calories per gram. I gotta look into portion plates, but yes, I think it would be easier for a lot of people for sure. I gotta look into that. Thanks for that. I want to look into that, because sometimes I want to break from counting calories. Not gonna lie. But I do it because it gives me results, and I'm so used to it by now. And eventually it becomes in your brain. Like, it becomes automatic. Sharon says, I did get a Christmas tree put away and put my treadmill in its place. Yeah, girl, get it done. Get it done. Do you take creatine? What are your thoughts about it? I want to take creatine. I'm going to wait for my coach to figure that out. And the only reason why I want to take creatine is that I know studies have showed, Dr. Sunny Andrews, who is an IFBB wellness pro, who is a doctor. She's doing her residency right now. She posted an article saying that creatine can help with concussion symptoms and TBIs. My physiotherapist and my vestibular therapist, who's the same thing, basically helps with brain recovery. I don't know how it works, whatever. He also talked about taking creatine too. I've never taken creatine before, but I'm going to leave that to my coach and ask her and see what she thinks. But yeah, I want to take creatine for the brain health, because it can help with brain health recovery. But also, of course, it helps with muscle too. Creatine is probably the most wow, my cheeks are starting to swell. I can feel it. Is the most well-studied supplement, natural supplement. But my thoughts about creatine is, yes, I don't know much about it. I'm going to learn more about it through the guidance of a coach, but I think creatine can definitely benefit someone if they want to put on muscle for sure. And yeah, I definitely want to take creatine. I do. It's something I really want to take for sure. Hugo Mama says thumbs up. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, no, I want to look into that. Thank you for bringing that up for sure. Thank you. Ooh, yeah, I'm still injured. I can't talk for 48 minutes long. It's okay. So I'm just going to look through my notes here to see. Talked about the mitochondria. Yes, mitochondria loves ketones. Oh, it also loves light. Get your sunlight. Dr. Andrew Huberman here. Him and his sunlight. The mitochondria like sunlight. Red light therapy, UV light. That's all going to help your mitochondria out, because all this is going to help with weight loss too. Like, a lot of people are having struggles with losing weight because we're all so ill. HIIT training, oxygen, breathing, meditation. Oh my gosh, yes, meditation. I've been meditating a lot. I did a deep meditation this morning by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Breathing, getting in enough oxygen. We are not breathing properly. When we're stressed, even me right now, I'm not breathing properly. I'm talking away. Take deep breaths. Let's all take a deep breath together. Different breathing patterns. Huberman did an episode on it we're not getting enough oxygen. And again, that's obviously going to help with weight loss in terms of healing any metabolic damage through the mitochondria. That's what I mean. I don't want someone to quote me and be like, oh, if you just take deep breaths, you'll lose weight. No, that's not what I'm saying. These are all things to help supplement it, like help detoxify your body and eliminating toxins. That's another thing I got to do. I have a whole list. I remember when I posted my weight loss results or my fasting results on Dr. Mindy Pelz's group, that community is amazing. I love her community. Tons of people gave me so much advice on how to help detox my body because I know my body is toxic. And someone talked about losing weight. Like there's been a few influencers who they lost a lot of weight and they ended up with some form of cancer. And I think detoxification is important. And Mindy Pelz talks about that. Like autophagy will only do not biomechanical, but biological detoxification. So DNA repair, like getting rid of biological junk, but it won't get rid of things like heavy metals and stuff. So there's things you can do there. Sauna is a form of detoxing. I have this bentonite clay, and I want to dive into more of that. Enemas is another way, but don't quote me on that. I don't know. Enemas is something I've always wanted to do. But I need guidance from someone who knows what they're doing. It's not something I'm going to go dive into. But yes. So I talked about the fastest way to make the metabolic switch is through fasting. It's also the fastest way to get into ketosis. It takes longer to get into ketosis with diet. That's why a lot of people who do the keto diet and they're like, oh, I'm not producing ketones. It can take, I don't know, how long does it take to get into ketosis with the keto diet? Maybe about a week or two of consistent keto. But throw in an intermittent fast and you'll get in there faster. So fasting is the fastest way to make the metabolic switch, 17 hours of fasting or more. Different fasting schedules you can do, the 5-2 fast, micro-Mosley fast, eating at maintenance for 5 days of the week, 2 days of the week, you're restricting to 800 to 1,000 calories. Alternate day fasting is another way to make that metabolic switch, fasting for 36 hours to 48 hours and eating every other day, eating at maintenance every other day. Obviously, you're making the metabolic switch when you are fasting and you're getting into that fat burning fast. And that's why I think ADF is so powerful, is because you're hitting that 36-hour fast. That is the fat burning fast. That is the fast where you are getting maximum fat burning. I better not be tasting blood in my mouth. Sorry. Wisdom tooth. OMAD, another way to make the metabolic switch. Intermittent fasting. Making the metabolic switch through diet. Let's talk about that. The keto diet I mentioned. Proper keto diet is eating 80% fats, give or take 3% or so. If you eat 77% fat, you'll still get into ketosis. 20% protein. So a good rule of thumb with real keto is eating less than 20 grams of carbs or more. And protein. 80-20 is protein. 20% is protein. So 20% protein. So a good rule of thumb with keto, less than 100 grams of protein. And then carbs are sparing. You're eating like 2 to 4% carbs. That's the keto diet. I like the keto diet because it gives you energy and I can work out on the keto diet. That's why I like keto. Carnivore diet is another way to make that metabolic switch. And the metabolic switch is It's synonymous with low blood sugar. So the carnivore diet is a great way to do that. Low carb diet, so 50 grams of protein or less. So low carb diet is what I thought was the keto diet, but it's not the keto diet. So low carb is just having your carbs less than 50 grams. If you are fat adapted, you can probably get away with 100 grams, between 50 to 100. It depends. You got to play with it because some people are fat adapted, meaning that they're able to burn fat for fuel, which is that's the metabolic switch. PSMF, which is a form of fasting. Protein sparing modified fast. A fast. I want to try this. Like, it would be cool to combine the PSMF diet with micro-Mosley's 5-2 little schedule. I'm going to try all this all. I just want to see because I like the high protein because I need protein to heal. Low carb diets, low calorie diets, yes, and the low blood sugar diet. But there seems to be a thing. I think the key to like killing weight loss and getting the weight off is putting your body in a state of low blood sugar. And when you put your body in a state of low blood sugar, that is you making the metabolic switch where you are burning, you're getting those resources, and your body's going in and using all the excess sugar in the blood. Because the high blood sugar is what's causing all of these illnesses. It's causing inflammation. It's been linked to cancer. Cancer cells feed off of sugar. Diabetes, inflammation, Alzheimer's. They say Alzheimer's is type 3 diabetes, which is where the brain and the insulin mechanism isn't working properly with the brain. And I think healing all of this will honestly, it will help people be healthier, lose weight, and get it off. Like, I think this is the key to everything. So it doesn't matter how you make the metabolic switch, find a way and make it happen. Also remember, metabolic flexibility is very important. Being able to go in and out of diets, being able to eat carbs still and be in control of your weight. Um, the metabolic switch is important because, again, us women, we do need carbs during that, like, 7 days before our cycle. For women who are menstruating, menses, I don't know how to say it. Even I don't know the protocol for women who are perimenopausal and menopausal, but I think, again, it's important. It's important. These things are important. I want people to be able to have balance. I want people to be able to go out and enjoy the food. Like, OMAD is good for that. OMAD, like, if you want a day where you want to go out and have a cheat meal, or it's your birthday and you want that cake, do it in an OMAD style or an ADF style or something, because that fasting will negate all of that damage might occur. So when you fast and you go and eat, let's say you break your fast with some cake, you don't want to do that because you're going to feel like crap. But if you were to do that, your body can help rebound itself quicker because you are in a state of you're making that switch. But yes, I wanted to make sure to cover all of that. My cheeks are killing me. Deanne says crafting is amazing. Ow. Helping me in the gym and makes my muscle creatine. Thank you. I thought so. Creatine is amazing. Helps me in the gym and makes my muscles look so swole. I'm guessing they make them look full. It helps to aid in fat loss. I know. I'm gonna, trust me, I'm gonna be using creatine very soon. I'm gonna ask Marcella on how to do that. And then when I switch from Marcella to my pre-prep coach, or my prep coach, sorry, yeah, I want to do creatine. If it helps with my workouts, girl, I'm doing creatine because you know me, I love to exercise. And I'm just sad I can't push it because of this fatigue, but I'm going to get there. I enjoy exercise. I love building muscle. I love the muscle look. And if creatine is going to help me that, being a natural athlete, then so be it. Anyway, I am overdue for ending this live stream, but thank you so much. I think I'm going to do this in video format because I was a bit all over the place. But I'm in a lot of pain right now, but we'll be okay. Thank you so much for joining me for this live stream. I'm going to try to announce them before. It's really hard for me to schedule because I am so all over the place. This woman really messed me up after the car accident, but it's okay. Without going through that adversity, I would not be as strong as I am today. You got to get knocked down to build character and get stronger. You got to have the attitude that when you get knocked down, you're going to use whatever horrible situation to your advantage. Have that mindset and overcome. Anyway, guys, I'm sending you mad love. Take care. Thank you, Sugar Mama says, take care, everyone. Bye.